Hey, everybody. Welcome to your Virgo full moon Tarotscopes for the Virgo full moon that we have next week, March 7th. So we will talk all about it and we'll give you a card reading for your sign. It'll be great. And just so you know, feel free to give super chats. You obviously don't need to as well, but don't expect an actual reading for yourself. We're just going to do general readings for every single sign, just to put that out there. So let's talk a little bit about where we're at right now. So we're currently in our new moon in Pisces cycle. We're still in our new moon waxing cycle until next week, depending on when you're watching this. Just keep that in mind. We have had our new moon in Pisces the 19th of February, and we're going to be in this vibration of the waxing moon in Pisces with that Pisces energy from the new moon until the 7th of March. So just keep that in mind that this week, if you're watching this today or any time before the 7th, we're still in the new moon in Pisces cycle. So just keep that in mind. We're just giving you a head start because we have our new moon next week. Excuse me, our full moon we have next week. So we want to give you a head start for that. Good morning, Pam. Nice to see you. So a little bit about this Pisces new moon that we had week ago, more than a week ago, a little bit more than a week ago. It's a very romantic energy. It's the energy of letting go and letting God. That's how we win with Pisces energy. So when you let go, you let God, you see what ideas emerge. This new moon that we had last week, more than last week and a half ago or so, it was conjunct Saturn. So Saturn is all about discipline, restriction, and responsibility. So our new moon goals, in order to manifest them, it really rested on long-term strategy, hard work, discipline, and logic. Those Saturn aspects, right? So you may be finding this week that you have to work extra hard in order to materialize your goals. And that is fine. Good morning, Sin. Nice to see you. And we also had last week Mercury trining Mars, which is really, really nice. So with that, we're able to think things and then take action on them really, really fast. So that was for that. Good afternoon, Casmar. Nice to see you. Good noon, Grandma Nay. Nice to see you. Thanks all for joining me today. I appreciate it. So yeah, we're still under this new moon in Pisces cycle. We gave you mint chocolate to help you get clear on what you want and also ground yourself, right, with the chocolate energy. And this full moon next week, you're going to get vanilla. Mostly cupcakes. You're all going to get cupcakes because otherwise it would have been too complicated to give some people vanilla protein shakes or vanilla wafers or vanilla ice cream. So we're all getting cupcakes. The full moon in Virgo that we have next week, next Tuesday, will make a harmonious trine to Uranus. And Uranus is the planet of surprise. So it's a nice little aspect. So expect to be surprised and delighted. So Uranus is like the alarm clock, right? Uranus wakes us up. So whenever it's making an aspect to a lunation, you might find yourself like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that before. Or there could be actual changes that are affecting you on different levels. So Uranus wakes us up and sort of upends the old order. It makes us realize, okay, well, this isn't right, or this needs to change. It can be somewhat shocking. And it encourages us to detach from the old story and to move forward into a new story. So Uranus can be very helpful. This aspect with Uranus next week with your full moon is actually really great because it's harmonious, right? You're going to have your full moon in Virgo, and it's going to trine Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So you get a lot of earthy energy, and it's a trine, which we'll talk more about, but it's going to be positive. So keep that in mind. Hey, Regan, nice to see you. Hello, Marlo in the making. Nice to see you. You use vanilla in your coffee and protein drinks? Well, you're ahead of the game, Sen. You're ahead of the game. Me too. I like my coffee black. No other way. No other way. Oh, and you love vanilla in your coffee. That's great. Well, you're going to love this presentation. We're going to talk all about vanilla. All about vanilla. So when thinking about vanilla, because last moon cycle we focused on mint chocolate. Now that's going to help you get clear on your goals and help ground you. Yeah, me too, Casimar. Black coffee, please. But vanilla, I was thinking, is very Virgo. I mean, it's technically not related to Virgo. It's actually related to Venus, but I think vanilla ought to be related to Virgo. And I did a little bit of thinking on this, and I found out that I was actually right, if you think about it. So how does Virgo relate to vanilla? Well, attention to detail. Vanilla is often used in baking or cooking to add a subtle, distinct flavor. And Virgos, well, they're known for their attention to detail and their ability to notice even the smallest details, right? Practicality. Vanilla is a simple and practical flavor that can be used in many different types of recipes. Virgos are known, of course, for their practicality and their ability to find practical solutions to problems. Cookies. Yes, vanilla cookies. You're getting cupcakes today, though, Sin. Sorry. I couldn't make any cookies. You're all getting cupcakes. Oh, and vanilla seeds in your baking? That's really great to hear. That's good. You'll love it. You're already ahead. And buttercream frosting, I agree. Definitely. Cleanliness. Vanilla has a really clean and fresh scent that's associated with cleanliness. And Virgos, of course, are known for their cleanliness and their attention to hygiene. Vanilla is modest, right? It's a subtle and unassuming flavor that doesn't overpower other flavors. And Virgos, too, are known for their modesty and ability to blend in with their surroundings. Purity. Vanilla is often associated with purity and innocence, like vanilla sex, for instance, as it's a simple and natural flavor. And Virgos are known for their purity and their desire to live a simple, uncomplicated life. Yes. You made a cake today. Was it a vanilla cake, Casimar? And you smoke your cookies. I get it. You smoke your cookies. I'm glad to hear that. Perfectionism. Vanilla is a flavor that is often used to enhance other flavors and make them more perfect. And Virgos, of course, are known for their perfectionism and desire to make everything around them as perfect as possible. That's not all. Dependability. Vanilla is a reliable and consistent flavor that can be counted on to provide a consistent taste. Virgos are known, of course, for their dependability and their ability to be relied on in any situation. Yes, strawberries and vanilla go really, really, really well. Really well, definitely. Humility. Vanilla is a humble flavor. If we can personify it, it doesn't seek attention or recognition. And Virgos are also known for their humility and their ability to avoid drawing attention to themselves. And simplicity. Vanilla is a simple and straightforward flavor that doesn't have any complicated or confusing elements. And Virgos are known for their simplicity and their ability to live a simple, uncomplicated life. Yes, simple and uncomplicated, simple and elegant. Earthy. Vanilla has a warm and earthy aroma that is often associated with the natural world, and Virgos are also known for their desire to connect to the earth and their desire to live in harmony with nature. Virgos are very connected to animals, even bugs at times. So if a Virgo sees like a spider in their house, they might not just stomp on it. They will most likely grab some kind of like container or piece of paper, put the spider or the bug or whatever on it, and let it go outside. Let it be free. Whereas, I don't know, I think most people are just going to stomp on the damn thing, right? Because it's in your house. Additionally, routine. Vanilla is often used in recipes that follow a set routine or pattern, and Virgos are known for their love of routine and their desire to stick to a schedule. Virgo correlates to the 6th house, which is all about routine and your scheduling and sensitivity. Vanilla has a subtle and delicate flavor that requires sensitivity to appreciate fully. And Virgos are known for their sensitivity and their ability to pick up on the subtle changes in their environment. And then Virgo and vanilla are also reliable. Vanilla is a reliable flavor that can be counted on to provide a consistent taste. And Virgos, well, they're known for their reliability and their ability to be counted on in any situation. So Virgo and vanilla clearly parallel each other in a lot of ways. So you may want to use vanilla under your full moon cycle from the 7th of March to the 21st. So yeah, use vanilla from March 7th to the 21st to help you release anything not for your highest good. So it could be like a placebo. There are metaphysical properties to herbs. Like, that's common knowledge. But even more so, it's like a permission slip. So like if a Red Sox player thinks that like this sock is going to make him lucky and he wears the sock and he performs well, that's going to become a belief and perception becomes reality, right? So not only does vanilla and different herbs have metaphysical properties, but if you believe that it will help you to achieve your aims, it will. It's a placebo effect as well. So you can do so much with vanilla. You can cook with it. You can bake with it. You can add it to a cocktail, your coffee. You can put it in a protein shake. You can have a vanilla protein shake, or you can use vanilla essential oil. Maybe you diffuse it. Maybe you make a candle with it, or you make a soap with it, or, you can diffuse it, right? Don't put it directly on your skin, though. You might want to dilute it with a carrying oil, like a, what is the carrying, like a carrying oil, like almond oil. So yeah, you can use vanilla over the next 2 weeks. Well, from March 7th, of course, right? Additionally, vanilla has other benefits, or they're said to medicinally. It may reduce intestinal distress, fever, cholesterol, acne, and anxiety. That will be helpful. Vanilla also may prevent tooth decay. It's an anti-inflammatory. And it's said to promote healthy hair growth and may even slow down hair loss. And then magically, vanilla is tied to love, passion. It definitely seems to be an aphrodisiac. Vanilla, vitality, happiness, healing, friendship. It helps you to relieve stress and anxiety. It can bring you luck, they say. And it also increases mental capabilities, like mint from last week. The week before, and beauty. So lots of things vanilla can do. So when you are dealing with herbs or writing lists or setting your intentions, remember the new moon waxing phase, which is what we're in now until the 7th of March, it's all for drawing in and attracting. So you'd use vanilla under a new moon cycle like this week to be like, okay, well, I'm having vanilla. This is going to draw to me love. Or I'm having vanilla. This is going to draw to me, what else is there? Love. What else? Happiness. This is going to draw to me happiness, vitality, etc. Now, under your full moon cycle, from the 7th of March to the 21st of March, it's letting go. So you would then say, okay, well, I'm going to put vanilla in this diffuser. I'm going to have vanilla, and it's going to help me release any blocks to love. It's going to help me release my vitality, right? Because the full moon waning cycle is all about letting go, releasing, removing, and banishing. And the new moon cycle is all about drawing in, imagining, and attracting. Yes, peace. So yeah, under the new moon cycle, you'd be like, okay, I'm having vanilla. This is going to invite peace into my life. Under the full moon cycle, I'm having vanilla. That's going to remove any blocks to peace or anything that's preventing me from experiencing peace. Let's just keep that in mind. So the Virgo full moon that we have on March 7th, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. The full moon in Virgo is a time of purification, simplification, and organization. We can use the energy of the full moon in its 2-week waning cycle. That's March 7th to the 21st of March, 2023, to release anything from our lives that prevents Virgo qualities like efficiency, health, order, and effectiveness. So you want to utilize this Virgo full moon that we have from the 7th of March to the 21st to release anything that's not for your highest good, right? It's all about letting go of anything that's toxic in your life that no longer really works. And as we said, it's a trine. We have a trine to Uranus this full moon. And the trine aspect occurs when two planets are in sync with each other because they share the same element, either fire, water, air, and earth. In this instance, with the trine that we have in the full moon in Virgo, the Virgo full moon at 16 degrees Virgo will be making a harmonious trine to Uranus in the sign of Taurus, fellow earth sign Taurus, which is at 15 degrees. So, oh, you have a big appointment on the 7th. Oh, boy. Really cool. Oh, the Pisces moon has made you sleepy? Well, I'll say, Sin, Pisces rules sleep. So maybe you're really aligned. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So essentially, it's completion, right? It's about endings, right? Because it's the last sign. So we're having to process so much stuff from the whole year, right? When the moon is in Pisces or whenever we have a Pisces aspect. So the fact that you've been sleeping, Sin, well, I think that's great. I think that's great. Definitely want to sleep as much as you can under the Pisces cycle for sure. So if you need more sleep this week, or you did last week, that's probably a good thing. So the moon trine Uranus specifically brings change and excitement without causing upset or chaos, because it's a trine aspect. It's harmonious. It's good to remain flexible and open-minded, and it also will be a good time to break habits and to leave any unhealthy relationships. Not just with people, but maybe you have a bad relationship with money, or maybe you have a relationship that could be improved with, I don't know, organization or your job, stuff like that. So this will be really, really nice and well needed. So we're going to be doing very, very, very general Tarotscopes, horoscopes. I use the Placidus system in astrology, which is much more exact than whole sign houses. So in order to do horoscopes or Tarotscopes, you have to do whole signs. So we'll be looking at things generally for you, but if you want specificity, find out where Virgo is at 16 degrees in your chart. Wherever Virgo falls at 16 degrees is where there's going to be illumination, completion, and fulfillment on this full moon cycle. The next full moon cycle, again, March 7th to March 21st. Wherever you have Uranus in your chart at 15 degrees, that's where there's likely to be a change that's beneficial to whatever you're completing or releasing. So keep these in mind. We'll talk about them generally. And first, let's start with Aries. So Aries, your full moon is hitting the 6th house. So it's time to unleash the love in your daily routine, in your health, in your work. This is a really great time to remove anything that's in the way of you falling in love with your job or creating a routine or a schedule that you just really, really like. Like, how can you make every single day just wondrous and beautiful and fun and enjoyable? Because you have this full moon in your 6th house, aspecting Uranus, you might be catalyzed to get organized and take care of yourself. Take care of your health. So Aries, you might be like, okay, this is it. I'm going to the gym, or this is it. No more sugar. That really is going to be key for the full moon in Virgo, for all of us, because Virgo does rule diet and health. So this is a great time for all of us to say, okay, no more booze or no more sugar or whatever it might be that you might be doing too much of. And it's also a good time to start a new routine or a new diet. It's very easy to, under the Virgo energy, to eat clean because our bodies are more sensitive. So if you want to get into better shape, for everybody, but especially Aries, this is definitely the time to do it. It's good to get organized under this time for you, Aries, especially. Now you have Uranus in your 2nd house. It's in the sign of Taurus. So that's nice. So there's a link between your daily routine and your money-making potential. So you could change your routine or change your job and make more money, right? We see how the two coincide. Also, the second house where Uranus is for you, Aries, it's also about values. So the second house is not only about money, but it's also about what you value. With Uranus aspecting it, this full moon for you, Aries, you might get this wake-up call. Be like, this is what I really want, or I care more about this than I do that. So let's see, Aries, some general wisdom from the tarot that will help you with your full moon in Virgo. Let's see. Advice for Aries, this full moon. Advice for Aries, this full moon. All right, Aries, you got Prince of Discs. So Prince of Discs, he's a hard worker, right? He might be a little bit boring, right? But he gets the job done. So there's a certain aspect with Prince of Discs that is just very, very, very earthy, a little bit pedantic, just goes about the routines without there being a lot of fanfare or excitement. Like they just keep their heads down and they get into the program, right? It's very much linked in Crowley's deck. Prince of Discs is linked to Taurus, but I think it links with all the signs, all the earth signs. So for you, Aries, I think the wisdom with Prince of Discs would be get yourself into a habit and a routine and don't expect it to always be great. Just expect to do it. Just expect to show up. As they say, like, what is it? 90% of success is showing up. So create a schedule for yourself and then follow it like it's your job. Don't expect it to always be easy. Don't expect it to always be fun. Don't expect it to always be terrible. You're just going to do it, right? So just keep that in mind, Aries. Find a new system, a new routine, a daily schedule that makes sense for you in terms of your goals, and just follow it. Your emotions mean nothing. It's irrelevant, right? Because this Prince of Disc guy, he's detached. He does what he needs to do because he wants the specific results. So keep your personal feelings out of it and hammer out your plan. Cool. So let's see. Taurus. Taurus, this is going to be quite a nice full moon for you. It's hitting your 5th house. So release the creative genius, Taurus. Remove any blocks to creativity, self-expression, pleasure, and fun. Remove blocks to fun. The 5th house is all about play and pleasure and enjoyment. You also may be more critical of your creative output during this cycle and your relationships, specifically your children. If you have children, Taurus, you might be a little bit more critical because the 5th house rules your children as well. And Uranus is in your sign, Taurus. So this could be a big time of self-discovery. It's a great opportunity for you to break free of old patterns and to reinvent yourself. So there's this whole new beginning for you, Taurus, that is really with your sense of like play and creativity and what you do for pleasure, and also your identity. So it might be a matter of you're reasserting yourself, that's Uranus in your sign, rediscovering yourself and being like, okay, well, this is who I am. I'm actually a really good artist, or I really am a great singer, or I really need to do this in order to feel authentic and whole. So there's a wonderful link between play and creativity and your identity. So start to be open to how you can play and express yourself in a way that frees you up, right? Because creativity is going to be really helpful to you. So let's see, Taurus, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your full moon in Virgo next week on the 7th of March. Let's see. Wisdom for Taurus. Wisdom for Taurus. Wisdom for Taurus. Wisdom for Taurus. Ooh, how nice and how funny, right? You get the pleasure card and the 5th house where the full moon is aspecting in your solar chart, at least, if you're a Taurus rising, is the house of pleasure. So this advice or wisdom would be, this is remembrance of like old times. It can be a very nostalgic card. I think typically the message with this card for you, based upon what you're going through astrologically, Taurus, is to think back when you were a kid. What did you want to do? What was your dream, right? Because those are the things that might be helpful to look back on to get some awareness of what it is that you would do if you could not fail, right? Like we have these dreams as kids, and then we grow up and we're taught, like, yeah, get grounded, can't do that. That's not reality. But I think that with this card, especially in light of this being a fifth house transit for you and also Uranus in your sign, think back to the past, to what really pleasured you before. Even if it's not even about creative expression, it might be really about relationship, right? What were those relationships in the past that really fulfilled you? Because that might be key to allowing yourself to let those flow into your life this full moon cycle. So happy full moon in Virgo, Taurus. So Gemini, you get the full moon hitting your fourth house of home and family. So this is a time for you to unlock all the love from your home, family, or whatever makes you feel secure. It's all about emotional security for you, Gemini. So you're letting go of things that undermine your emotional security. You want to come out of this transit having stronger self-trust. You might find yourself really needing to organize your home, your domestic life, because Virgo is hitting that area of your chart. And also, you might experience a subconscious shift because you got Uranus in your 12th house of the subconscious. So this is a pretty loaded transit for you, Gemini. I'm not going to lie. You got the fourth house, which is all about your emotional foundation, what makes you feel secure, your home, your family, what you know. And you also have Uranus in your 12th house of the subconscious. So this is pretty interesting. I mean, it's a harmonious trine, right? So it's a good thing. But really, when you're thinking about the fourth house, home and family, and the 12th house, the subconscious, I mean, this is an opportunity for you to really change the story. So fourth house is home and family, right? So whatever beliefs your parents have, you're going to adopt those unless you actively instill new beliefs in your brain, right? And then the 12th house is all about your subconscious anyway. So I think the big thing for you, Gemini, this transit is to really release anything that you may have learned or inherited that is no longer working for you. Maybe you feel as if you're the one who's always doing all the work and nobody does enough for you. Okay, well, that's an old story, right? That might be, you inviting that into your life because you're being loyal to the dysfunction, right? Or maybe it's a matter of, what could the story be? Whatever I do is never good enough. Whatever I do is just never good enough. Again, that could be an old story. So you want to look at what you may have learned, fourth house, growing up, analyze that, Virgo, and make sure that you're aware of how that might affect your subconscious mind. Like, have you been taught that your needs come last? Have you been taught that whatever you do isn't good enough? So I do think that with this aspect for you, Gemini, that it is a little bit intense. I think on a positive level, it would be about, or a more pedantic level, it would be about you creating a new, letting things go that no longer work for you domestically. Maybe you want to change your home, or maybe you want to find a new home. And then also just releasing any blocks that you might have that prevent you feeling secure in whatever you do domestically. Yes. Yeah. We're talking definitely rising sign. Yeah. I should have specified that. Listen to your sign and rising sign, folks. But again, find out where those degrees are in your chart. This is very general. But I think the big thing for you is unlocking the love from your home and family, loving your family more, and then also being aware of what you subconsciously believe, right? Because with that Uranus in your 12th, you might get a wake-up call subconsciously and be like, oh, wow, I've been loyal to the dysfunction in my life. Or I need this in order to make myself happy domestically. So let's see, Gemini, what you get for some wisdom for your full moon in Virgo. Wisdom for Gemini. Well, I like this. You got 9 of Cups. So this is your wish card. this is your wish card. So the Nine of Cups, you get your wish, right? This is like overflowing sense of happiness, right? So think about what it is that you want. And I think the big thing with the Nine of Cups is you got to have your cups accessible. So you have to like be open to having your wishes granted. You have to be receptive in receptive mode. You got to allow it, right? You have to be open to it. You can't be looking for a compliment with your arms folded, so to speak, right? So energetically, you want to be open so people can fill up your cups. I think a lot of this really has to do with expectation. When you're expecting something, you're allowing it, right? So although we've been sort of trained, like don't expect too much and you won't be let down, it's better for you to expect the best or even alternatives to that best that are also positive. So keep that in mind. But Nine of Cups, Gemini, is pretty great. Looks like you have happiness. So enjoy your full moon. And Cancer. Well, Cancer, let's see here. Hold on one second. Oh, are they familiar? That's really good. Why don't we also take into account the moon sign? I mean, you could. I think it's, it's typically your rising sign. And if you don't have your rising sign, well, then you could default to your sun sign. And if you don't have your sun sign, or you don't want to use your sun sign, but you also want to use your moon sign, you can. Just typically, it's usually the rising sign. And then we default to the sun sign if you don't know your rising sign. Yeah. Seek pain, find it. Oh, well, I don't agree with that. Why would you seek pain? Why would you seek pain? Maybe to heal, I guess. Not sure. Maybe you were joking with me, Mama. Maybe Mama jokes. Mama jokes with me. So Cancer, you got your full moon in your third house. Cancer rising. So this is an opportunity for you to open the door to excellent communications. Be most particular about what you say to yourself. Very, very important. Our lives are created by the pictures we paint in our heads and the words that we say to ourselves. So make sure you are painting pretty pictures and saying really nice things to yourself. You also might find yourself being more particular about what you say to your friends. Oh, I see, Mama. I get it now. Okay, I get it. I like that. Yes, exactly. Okay, that makes even more sense. Yes, what we seek, we shall find. That's why you want to look for what it is that you want. Really good point, Mama Tembo. I appreciate that. So yeah, you might find yourself more particular in your communications with your friends, your community. You might also want to meet new people, right? It's really because you have Uranus transiting your 11th house. It's a very social transit for you, Cancer. You want to really think about your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, and your ideals with that 11th house Uranian aspect. You might get like a wake-up call, like, oh, this isn't the dream. I don't want to do this anymore. Or this is really what I want. This is what's going to make me really happy. This is that big ticket item that I want, whatever that might be. But again, because the full moon is in your third house, it's a matter of talking to yourself and interacting with your world in a way that is going to allow those highest hopes, dreams, and goals to materialize, right? So you got to think both the third house and the 11th house are aligned with air signs. Third house is aligned with Gemini. 11th house is aligned with Aquarius. And you got to think and you got to interact Gemini in order to reach those highest goals and be a good contributing member to a club or whatever, which is 11th house / Aquarius. So this is a really great time for you to start fresh with a tribe or start fresh with a group. And it's also a good time to start, you might find yourself thinking in a brand new way. Yeah. So let's see, Gemini, what you get. Some tarot wisdom with a new beginning or ending a cycle, rather, in terms of your thinking, and also some activity in your 11th house of hopes, dreams, wishes, ideals, friends, and community. Gemini. Ah, okay. So you get Prince of Swords. So I think with Prince of Swords, the advice for you, Gemini, is every idea is just as good as the next idea. Like this guy, I mean, he's very, very changeable. So it's like, okay, oh, how about we have pizza tonight? Okay, pizza sounds great. We're going to do pizza. Oh, no. What about Chinese food? Yeah, Chinese food sounds great as well. That's perfect. Oh, why don't we do lobster? Okay, yeah, we could totally do lobster. So every idea is just as good as the next idea. So this card is really saying to you, you know, all you need to do is just see things differently. You always have the power to see things differently. So, for instance, if it's a new beginning in terms of your communications, if you're communicating with yourself, oh my God, I suck at painting, let's say. Well, if that's true, there also must be an alternative that you could get better at painting, right? So I think it's about detaching from any negative thoughts and even detaching from your group or from a dream to get better perspective. So Gemini, for your full moon in Virgo, allow yourself to be detached, to look at things more objectively, and then realize that you can see them in a different way. Oh, this group could be really good for me. This friend could be really great. Or I would actually have more energy if I wasn't around this person, whatever it might be. But detachment is your friend, Gemini. So, oh, did I say Gemini? I'm sorry, Cancer. I do mean Cancer. Sorry, Sin. Sorry, Cancers. But yeah, I think it's because of the third house. I thought of Gemini, but yeah, that was for Cancer. Anyway, thanks for correcting me. Leo, I won't missay this sign, that's for sure. So for Leo, you got your full moon in your second house. So it's all about the money, honey. Nice full moon in your second house. Let the money flow, and you might get very Virgo-y, are very particular about your financial endeavors. You might get a promotion, you might change jobs or start a new business because, Leo, you have Uranus in your 10th house. You got it in your 10th house. So there's a wake-up call when it comes to your career, your public image, how you appear to other people, your reputation. So it's really nice, actually, because you got a full moon, you got some completion going on for you financially, and at the same time, your career is being galvanized, right? There's something that is catalyzing the energy of your career that's going to help you to go to the next level. It might be a matter of really, it's like you're changing jobs and you're making more money, right? Or you're deciding like, okay, well, this is what I want to do professionally, and this is what I can do to get started on it. Maybe it's sort of like even a side hustle, right? Maybe you're doing something on the side to bring in more money that aligns with your career goals, right? But it's really a matter of like being open and allowing more money to come into your life and taking actions based upon that also align with your higher professional goals, right? So it's about, I think there's a really practical transit for you. Leo, it's really a matter of like, okay, well, how can you make money by doing something that you want to be known for, right? How can you bring together your finances and also your higher purpose in life, right? So let's see what you get, Leo, for this wonderful full moon in Virgo for you. Some wisdom for Leo. Full moon in Virgo. I like it. So you get Ace of Diamonds or Ace of Discs or Ace of Pentacles. So Leo, this is really about just making your plans real. Make it real. So if you have an idea financially, right, because you do have the full moon hitting your second, implement it, right? And also, I think with being the full moon cycle, what is undermining your financial success? Could it be a matter of you have, Leo, you're very generous. Could you be like giving loans out like all the time, right? Because somebody needs something, or, oh, this friend is low on this, you got to do this. So maybe you need to look at how you're spending your money and if there are any real drains to your income. It also might be a matter of, well, how can you arrange your schedule in such a way that you're being efficient, that you're working smarter? And also, I think with the Ace of Diamonds, what things can you do? What seeds can you plant, right? They're going to help you to not just flourish financially, but also make those big career moves that are going to make you really, really, really happy. So this is a wonderful card to get, Leo. It's really great. because, you got fulfillment financially around you. And I think with that Uranian aspect to your 10th house, it's like the ideas are really firing off of like, okay, well, I can be rich and fulfilled professionally. I would say with the Ace of Diamonds, Leo, do something that allows you to make money doing what you want to do eventually. Like, use this time to do it. Like Pisces time, all planets are direct, make your moves, right? Oh, I'm really glad to hear that, Marlo. Marlo, I forget your rising sign. But in any case, happy full moon in Virgo, Leo. Oh, your rising sign is Leo. That is perfect for you. That's really good. Really good. So for Virgo, well, happy full moon in your sign, Virgo. This is going to be hitting your first house. So first house is all about your identity, your personality. And remember, your personality creates your personal reality. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal for you. But again, like the moon's going to be at 16 degrees. So if you're not between 12 and 20 degrees in a mutable sign, or I guess in Uranus's case, a fixed sign, you're in the clear. Like, it's probably not going to affect you. So always check the numbers, right? But in any case, let's just say, Virgo, you're around 16 degrees. This is a time for you to release anything that is blocking your personality. This is the time for you to let yourself shine, to show off. Also, you got Uranus hitting your 9th house. So the 9th house is what gives you itchy feet. You're like, I want to explore. I want to learn more. There's more beyond my backyard. So that's really cool. So there's a nice link between your personality and your sense of expansion. Maybe you want to see some different places. Maybe you want to learn something new. Maybe you are so sick of being on the East Coast or the West Coast and you want to be on the West Coast or the East Coast. It's definitely a time for you to take a leap of faith. And I think that the big thing for you, Virgo, is how can you incorporate that adventuresome, wanderlust, philosophical aspect, 9th house, where Uranus is hitting, into your personality. Maybe you assert yourself as somebody who is adventuresome, or you assert yourself and redefine your personality as somebody who is a perpetual student, really wants to learn more, right? But there's some link between your personality and how you expand and grow. Very, very, very positive too. So it's a new beginning for you. This is a great time for you, Virgo, to let go of anything that undermines your self-esteem, right? And, we're making ourselves up as we go along, all right? As I always say, Charlie Chaplin entered a Charlie Chaplin lookalike contest and got 3rd place. So did Mae West. Mae West actually lost in a lookalike contest to a drag queen. So my point is, we're constantly making ourselves up as we go along. So Virgo, if there's something with your identity that no longer makes sense to you, change your mind. Just change your mind about who you want to be and make a decision to be somebody else. And I think with Uranus hitting your 9th, make that decision about exploring more. Add that to your new identity. So let's see, Virgo, what you get. Some tarot wisdom. The full moon in your sign. Makes a lot of sense. 4 of Wands, one of the really cool cards in the pack. So 4 of Wands is like Venus and Aries. So you're closing a cycle, you're completing something. This is called completion in Crowley's deck. So there's like a feeling with this card of just like, relief, right? It can also be very exciting. Joan Bunning likens this card to like a birthday cake coming your way, right? And you're like a little kid and you're so excited to seeing this birthday cake. So that's sort of what's happening for you. You're completing a cycle. So it'll be important to give yourself those feelings of relief. And also, what can you complete these next 2 weeks, March 7th to March 21st? What can you like tie up and say, okay, I'm done. This is it. Whatever it might be. It might be a project, it might be a relationship, it might be a habit, something along those lines. So happy full moon in your sign, Virgo. You feel like knitting again? Ooh. Well, I think that's a great idea. With that Gemini rising you have, Sin, anything you do with your hands, because Gemini rules the hands. Libra, you get a nice I like your purple flakes on your cupcake, Libra. I have to say, I'm a little jealous that you get purple flakes on yours, but that's okay. You're a Libra. You deserve purple flakes. You totally do. And you got this full moon in your 12th house. So the 12th house is the subconscious. So it's a big deal. I mean, a lot of people, they're like, oh, 12th house transit, not that big of a deal. It's a huge deal. But the changes are internal, right? But don't underestimate internal changes, right? Because we get what we subconsciously believe that we are, right? We attract what we are by virtue of like attracting like, but it's on a subconscious level. So even though you might be like, I'm awesome, if on a subconscious level, you think you're not awesome, or you think you're less than, right? And you're actually consciously saying you're awesome, so you can almost like protect your consciousness from the reality. It's like what you subconsciously believe you are is going to attract. That's what's going to attract. You're going to attract into your life, right? So it's a big deal. 12th house transit for sure. And also though, you also have Uranus in your sexy 8th house. So you're dealing with a lot of emotional issues right now with this transit. You might decide that you're going to let go of a subconscious belief that no longer works for you. Maybe you're going to retrain your brain. And that's why meditation is so good. It actually rewires your brain. So, Libra, this is going to be a really good time for you to start a meditation process, or even step up your meditations. Maybe do one that's longer or one that goes deeper or whatever. But you want to rewire your brain. So be very extra careful, Libra, with what you pay attention to. So focus on those things that you like. That's a great time for vision boards. It's a good time to surround yourself with people that you admire. I mean, that's one thing with Libra. They love to admire and be admired. So do that, okay? And really, with Uranus hitting your 8th house, it's really interesting. I mean, this could be very, very advantageous for you. With the 8th house transit, 8th house has to do with other people's resources and how we combine resources and share with others. So with Uranus there, Libra, for you, you might get a wake-up call in terms of a joint enterprise, or maybe something suddenly changes in your sex life, or maybe because the 8th house also pertains to boundaries, you're like, yeah, no more. I'm not doing this anymore. Or, oh yeah, I want to join forces with this person, place, or thing. So you got a wake-up call in terms of 8th house things, which has to do with joint enterprises and intimacy. And of course, you got your full moon in your 12th house, helping you to remove any blocks in your brain to what it is that you want. So before you can get anything, you have to be able to see yourself accomplishing it. So do whatever you can to just focus on what you want, Libra. This should be a really interesting full moon for you. Let's see what you get, Libra. Some wisdom for your full moon in Virgo. Okay. Well, this is nice. I'm glad you got Queen of Cups, because you're going through, I mean, these two aspects. The full moon will be in your 12th house, which is a water house. You got the Uranian energy is in your 8th house, water house. So I love that you get Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is really all about reflecting back to other people, right? And that's one of the things that is important in terms of what you're focusing on, right? Because it's like a reflection, right? If you look into a body of water, what do you see? But you see yourself, right? And the same thing when you're dealing with other people. You want to see yourself in them, right? And it comes down to the law of one, how we're all connected. Same thing when you're looking at a beautiful photo, or you're listening to a song, or you're watching a movie or whatever. You're seeing yourself, right? We're all very like self-focused. So whenever you're watching anything, it's reflecting back to you those things within you. So think about this full moon cycle, what you want to reflect, what you want to focus on, right? How are you reflecting back to other people what they're giving to you, right? The Queen of Cups is also it's a very, very good card. It's all about abundance. The queens in the tower are throned on the 3. So the Queen of Cups is throned on the 3 of Cups. The Queen of Cups is throned on the 3 of Cups. So it's all about parties and celebrations and abundance, right? And I think that really, because you're going through a 12th house transit, really focus on all the abundance that you have around you, just how much love is around you. I would definitely, Queen of Cups, spend as much time as in water as possible. Maybe increase your water intake. Maybe take longer baths or longer showers. Maybe start swimming. But it should be an interesting transit for you, Libra. So happy full moon in Virgo. And Scorpio, well, Scorpio, you got your full moon in Virgo hitting your 11th house. You know, Virgo and Scorpio do well together. Their glyphs are very similar, of course. You get Scorpio's glyph, it's like an M, but the arrow goes outwardly, whereas Virgo's glyph is like the M, but it goes inward, right? So you should like this full moon in Virgo, Scorpio. It's time, because it's in your 11th house of hopes, dreams, wishes, and ideals, and friends, community. It's time to embrace your highest hopes, dreams, and wishes. It also might be a time of completion. You might actually be like, okay, I'm on my way. This is happening. I'm actually living the dream, or I'm making things real. You also might find yourself reaching a completion, closing a cycle when it comes to your friends or your groups or your communities that you belong to. Because it's in Virgo, you might find yourself more discerning regarding what dreams you actually have. And you also might be a little bit more particular about your friends and your social connections. You just want to watch out for saying anything that might be, offensive or abrasive, right? Just be aware, because we can be a little bit more picky when it's Virgo time. And when Scorpio is picky, they don't always realize like how sharp their pickiness can be. So just keep that in mind. You also have Uranus hitting your 7th house. Big deal. Very, very big deals, because 7th house, it's going to be in your opposite sign, right? So with Uranus in your 7th, you're going to find yourself making some change, or there'll be some kind of change for you relationship wise, right? So you might find yourself meeting someone new. You might find yourself changing a relationship, ending a relationship, redefining the boundaries in a relationship. But again, see how it can actually coincide with your highest hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals. And I think also because the 11th house has to do with friendship, well, if you're going to have a long-term partner, they better be a really good friend, right? Like that's like the basis for any relationship, right? Especially a romantic relationship. You need to have a strong base of friendship. So maybe define for yourself what you want in a friend, how you want to show up as a friend, and then also allow that to inform your relationships, right? Because there's definitely going to be some changes in terms of relationship, but they seem to be very harmonious, Scorpio. So let's see here. Some tarot wisdom for Scorpio for your full moon in Virgo. Scorpio, whoa! You got the Wheel of Fortune. I think you really like this card, Scorpio, because you like to live a little bit dangerously. You like to be on the wheel. You like to be like, okay, let's change destiny. And that really is key. Like things are constantly changing, right? So when you're on the wheel, right, you're this agent of change, and that's what you do. I mean, Scorpio's like physical presence alone is a healing, right? But the key with the Wheel of Fortune, when the Wheel of Fortune comes up, you can't be like on the wheel. Like that doesn't work because fortune goes up and down, right? So you don't want to be like tossed around by fate. Like, oh, I got a raise. Oh shit, I got fired. Like you don't want that. You want to stay at the hub of the wheel, right? So you're focused at the hub of the wheel and you're watching your destiny, and then you're like, oh, opportunity. And then you jump on it, right? So you want to be at the hub of the wheel, focused and centered, and then look for opportunities. And in this full moon, it's going to be an opportunity most likely in your partnerships with Uranus there, but it's also an opportunity for you to close a cycle, right? Because you got this full moon that's hitting your 11th house. So maybe you're closing a cycle in terms of your hopes, dreams, and wishes. Maybe you're at that hub of the wheel, Scorpio, and you're like, oh, opportunity. this is like my highest hope, dream, wish, or goal. Opportunity is there. I'm going to jump on it. So stay centered at the hub of the wheel and watch your destiny unfold, especially in terms of your hopes, dreams, wishes, ideals, as well as friendships, community, and of course, partnerships, because Uranus is in your 7th. So, ooh, you're meeting with a playground consultant. I'm glad to hear that, Casimar. That's great. And Sagittarius. Well, Sagittarius, you're going to love these cupcakes this full moon, that's for sure. You got the full moon in your 10th. So very interesting, full moon in your 10th. I mean, Sag, this is going to be a little bit of a professional transit for you. You're just really good at getting the job done. So you're not like outrageously ambitious, right? Because you're very balanced. Sagittarius knows about, it's like the temperance card, the combination of things, the right combination of things to make you feel happy, well, or balanced. Sagittarius is really good like that. Like they know that they can't be working 90 hours a week without going out for beers with the boys or without making sure that they're having time for yoga class. Like they know that they need to balance their lifestyle. But this transit for you is very, very earthy because you got your full moon in your 10th house, Sagittarius. So it's really all about you unleashing your best professional self, right? What do you want to do? What do you want to be known for, right? And then you got Uranus in your 6th house. I mean, it's a harmonious change. Typically with Uranus in the 6th, if it wasn't so harmonious, I'd be like, oh boy, there's going to be a wake-up call in terms of your health. This might be a matter of it being a wake-up call in terms of how you live your lifestyle. Maybe you're like, you know what? I feel like shit so much, I might want to stop drinking. Or not drink as much, or I don't like the way that sugar affects me. I'm going to cut down on sugar, or I need to exercise more. I'm always in a better mood. I think Sagittarians by law should be required to exercise. Because if you think about it, Sagittarius is like half man, half horse, right? So you have that like energy that is just extremely animalistic, but they're also high-minded. So constantly they're being put in this position of like, well, how do I release my unbridled passion while being a civilized human being, right? So find an outlet. But the big thing for you is you're completing a cycle professionally. And you might be inclined during this period to, make your connections, rub elbows with the right people, keep up with the Joneses. And then with Uranus in your 6th, you might get a wake-up call in terms of your lifestyle. Like, I can't keep doing this, or I need to switch this habit, or whatever it might be. But it's a wonderful time to think about what you want to do professionally and what does that look like on a day-to-day basis. So say you get your dream job or your dream career. Okay, well, what does it look like? What are you having for lunch every day? When are you working out? When are you seeing your friends, right? So there's a link between what you're known for and your day-to-day activities and schedule. So feel free to change that. That could be really good. Let's see what you get, Sagittarius. Some tarot wisdom for your full moon in Virgo on the 7th of March. Let's see here. Ooh. So you get 4 of Cups. So the 4 of Cups, we can look at this a few different ways. Number one, it's a 4. Right, which is nice. It's a nice stable number. And 2, it's cups, which is about emotion. But if you think about it, emotion or water, which symbolizes emotion, is not stable. Like it ebbs, it flows. It's never like sort of stuck, right? But sometimes we want things to be sort of even. We want like calm sea, right? And we want calm waters. And that really is what this is all about. On a positive level, things are emotionally secure for you, right? And it's all about feeling nice and cozy. The 4 of Cups is being like filled up, content, satisfied, not requiring more, which is the perfect space for law of attraction. Satisfied, but eager for more. With the 4 of Cups, it's more like you're satisfied, you're okay. You're like, no, I'm good. The problem with 4 of Cups is that it can be a little bit apathetic. So, for instance, you can't be, or you can, but it's more difficult to bemoan your current job or career and then get another one, right? It's really tough for you to hate your home and then find a better home. You have to remember it's all energy, right? So you get as satisfied as humanly possible with your career, with your home, even with your boyfriend or whatever. And then you're able to then graduate, right? So with the Four of Cups, I think the lesson here or the message is to watch out for apathy, like focus on what you have that is amazing right now and then build upon it. You know, it's like the Bible says, like the richer, what does it say? He who hath shall be given more. He who hath not, what he has shall be taken. So it's sort of a matter of the more we can focus on our abundance and appreciate that, it appreciates. It appreciates. So enjoy your full moon in Virgo Sagittarius. Let's see here. Capricorn. So Capricorn, you got your full moon in sister sign Virgo. Should be a really good full moon for you, Capricorn. You guys love Virgo energy quite a bit. So let's see here. Oh, I'm so glad, Casmar. Yes, I'm excited too. I'm glad, Marla. That's high praise for an Aquarian. I believe you're an Aquarian. I believe you are, Marlo, even if you have that Leo rising. Jeez Louise, Aquarius with a Leo rising? Yikes. How are you not a nightmare? No offense. You're not. I know you're not a nightmare, but it's a little surprising. Where's your moon, Marlo? That might make all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. Yeah, we'll find out. So anyway, Capricorn, you got your full moon in your ninth, which is really nice. That's really cool. So the ninth house has to do with your expansion, your growth, what you're learning, what you're seeing. It could be travel. It could be education. It's about broadening your horizon. There you go. Okay. The Virgo moon. Yes. Virgo moon to save the day. I love it. What a beautiful balance that is. I love that. So yeah, you got the ninth house full moon, Capricorn. And the ninth house is all about you expanding and growing. It also has to do with publishing and broadcasting, sharing yourself with the world at large. So this could be completion in that regard. You might decide that you're ready to finish up that project and put it out there into the world. And you want to, release anything holding you back. Anything holding you back in regard to travel, education, your philosophy, and you want to have fun. And you also have Uranus hitting your fifth house of play. So this is a time in which you might be like, oh, wow, I had no idea. I'm really a good musician, or I have talent that I want to explore, or that would be really fun to creatively express myself. Or you're like, you know what? I really am interested in trying this thing out creatively, even sexually. It is your fifth house. So, it's all about you allowing yourself to embrace adventure, Capricorn. Maybe you need to complete a cycle and allow yourself to be like, you know what? I'm going to see more of the world. I'm going to study this topic. And, you're going to get clear on that over the next 2 weeks from the March 7th to the 21st. You're going to get clearer on what you want to learn, how you want to grow, how you want to expand, also what you want to contribute to the world at large, which is obviously a big deal for you, Capricorn. And again, with Uranus in your fifth, have fun, play. Like there's, a wonderful link between the ninth and the fifth house, right? So do what you can to go out on a limb. That's like with the fifth house, like take a chance and just enjoy yourself. I mean, Capricorns grow old in reverse. So not only do they look younger at 60 than they did 50, but they also learn how to relax, right? They learn how to let go and they have fun. So as the years progress, Capricorn, things for you will just get better and better and better because Capricorn's, the school of hard knocks. You guys have had a tough early life, right? A lot of responsibility very early on. A lot of Capricorns is said that, they may have been deprived of a normal childhood. And now with Uranus in your fifth house, all of that childhood stuff, it's being activated, right? So you get to be like a kid. You get to honor the inner child. So I would say if you have any inkling, like if you want to play an instrument, or if you're like, oh, I want to, take a dance class, or I want to, learn screenplay writing, whatever, follow it, right? Follow your highest excitement, because this is a time for you to expand and play. Wouldn't it be great, Capricorn, if you are playing and you're expanding, or you're playing and you're learning, or even better, you're playing when you're teaching? That could be really cool. So let's see, Capricorn, what you get for your full moon in Virgo, what some wisdom might be for you today, Capricorn. Ooh, oh boy. Well, Capricorn, you might actually be going on a trip. That's not the only aspect of Knight of Swords. The big thing with Knight of Swords is all about goal-oriented activity. So in Crowley's deck, you got 3 birds here, over here, which are body, mind, and spirit, or body, mind, and soul. So this is really all about goal-oriented activity. Typically with Knight of Swords, it's about changes that require fast and competent reactions, like go, right? So, you're very, very driven, Capricorn, typically. And this really would be about goal-oriented activity. The Knight of Swords epitomizes that goal-oriented activity. And if you notice, again, with those 3 birds, body, mind, and soul, everything is directed to this one thing, right? So I would say for you, Capricorn, with this hitting your 9th house, be fast. If you see a deal and you want to go on a vacation, you want to leave the country or go on a trip, buy it now. Like, now's a great time to do this, right? And go on a trip. Or if there's something that you want to learn, sign up for the class. Just do it, right? And also, I think with the Knight of Swords, in light of your 5th house, I think that if you're fun and you're creative in your life, that's going to add more to the other things that you have going on, right? So, just keep that in mind. I think with Knight of Swords, it's about being very goal-oriented with your creativity and your expansion, like it's your job. Like, okay, I have to play, I have to have fun, or I have to expand and grow. So enjoy your full moon in Virgo, Capricorn. Aquarius. Oh boy, Aquarius, you have quite the intense transit, I gotta say. You guys can handle it. You're cool, calm, and collected, as cool as a camel in a deep freeze. So you're going to be okay with your 8th house transit. So the 8th house is really all about shared resources, intimacy, transformation. It's your boundaries, right? So most likely, Aquarius, or whoever has, if you have 16 degrees of Virgo, if in the 8th house, or thereabouts, this is a time in which you're completing a cycle when it comes to your boundaries. Maybe you're saying, okay, I am too much of a hard ass. I need to relax. I have too many boundaries. I don't let anybody in. I'm very much, stubborn and grounded and closed off. Well, with a full moon in your 8th, you might be like, okay, I'm going to loosen up a bit. Or it could be the opposite. I'm loosey-goosey. I'm too open. I have no boundaries. I need to set them. But it's going to probably be one or the other. Hey, Sonia, nice to see you. I'm going to say Aquarius, Moon, Libra. Really cool. I love that. What degree Virgo rising? Do you know offhand, Sonia? I'm really curious. That might be hitting your 8th house is empty. Okay. But is 16 degrees of Virgo in your 8th? Oh, you're a Virgo rising. So Virgo is in your 1st house. Okay. I would read maybe both. But still, like, why not? The sun in Aquarius might, if you have the sun in Aquarius, this might be relevant as well. So essentially, you're learning, like, okay, am I going to create a boundary, or am I going to dissolve the boundary? That's like the big thing. And it might be a matter of you're dissolving a boundary and going into business with a friend or somebody else, right? Or you're dissolving a boundary and you're having more sex, right? Or you're creating a boundary and you're disconnecting, amputating a relationship, or distancing yourself from something that might undermine your self-esteem, for instance, right? You might want to be analytical about your boundaries and be sort of like, okay, well, is this person, place, or thing making me feel stronger? Oh, okay, I'm going to move in closer. Is this person, place, or thing making me feel weaker, sad, and depressed? I'm going to erect a boundary. So it's pretty simple. And I would really do that, Aquarius. Like, be judicious. Don't waste your time with things that undermine your success or self-esteem. Like, that's, no offense, stupid, right? So you also have Uranus in your 4th house. So Uranus is making some kind of harmonious change to your domestic life and or your emotional security, right? So with Uranus there, it's all about, maybe you'll get a wake-up call in terms of what you need to do in order to feel more emotionally secure. Or maybe you'll get a wake-up call in terms of a family member that you can actually connect with that can make you feel really unconditionally loved and cared for. Wouldn't that be cool? Or maybe you're getting a awareness of like, okay, well, I really want this kind of home, or I really want this kind of family, or my wife's pregnant, or goodness knows, but there's some really positive wake-up call in your domestic area of your chart. And I think the repercussions are long-lasting because you have also the full moon in your 8th. So changes in terms of domesticity, your home life, but also an ending, right? Because the 8th house is very, it's very transformative. So if you do have 16 degrees of Virgo hitting your 8th, well, this full moon, something will end, most definitely. And it might be a little bit more intense. So if you do have 16 of Virgo hitting your 8th house, definitely protect yourself, right? You're going to be like a raw nerve. It's a little unnerving having like an 8th house transit. So be flexible, go with the flow, set your boundaries, but most important, protect yourself, right? And also notice that you might be a little bit feeling really, really raw. And as a result, you might, because it's an 8th house transit, be a little bit more defensive, right? When there might not be a need for that. So don't make mountains out of molehills. It is a rather emotional transit for you, Aquarius, if you have 16 degrees of Virgo there in your 8th. Let's see what wisdom you get, Aquarius, for your full moon in Virgo. Full moon Virgo. Full moon Virgo for Aquarius. For Aquarius. Okay. You got 3 of discs. So this is called works. It's about giving something that works. And it's also about having a nice framework in place, right? So I would say that in light of this being an 8th house / 4th house transit, like the 8th house for you, say it's a matter of you are dissolving boundaries with somebody, you're going to business with them, right? The 3 of discs, or 3 of pentacles, it's about giving it the work, get the framework in place for the business, right? Or even if it's about sex, like what's your framework in terms of sex, right? Like, okay, this is how often, I want to have it, or this is how often my partner wants to have it. Like, you want a framework. You want to give something that works. You want to give the works to something in terms of 8th house, this transit. So this could be about working hard toward a goal. This could be about creating a framework. I would also say with this being relevant to your 4th house, where Uranus is, it might be a matter of really working together with all family members, right? So, not feeling as if you have to do something alone with the family, but getting other family members to work together. Because at the end of the day, the first team that we're really on is our family. So maybe start looking at your family as a team. And if you have any concerns about any relatives, right, working as a team to support them. That might be really helpful. Let's see. You have, well, I hope that's a good thing. Sun, moon, rising in Aquarius. You have sun, moon, and rising in Aquarius? Are you kidding me? Holy shit. That's a lot. Yikes. Whew! God love you. You're a triple Aquarius? Are they all like conjunct? Do you know what degrees they are? If you know offhand, I'd love to know. That's freaky. No offense. I mean, it's awesome, but that's a lot of Aquarius. Yeah, that's a lot. So yeah. Let's see, Pisces. Last but not least, my little fishies of the zodiac. I hope you're doing well. This full moon is going to be in your 7th house. So it's time to shine in your partnerships, both those personal and professional ones. And it's time to embrace new learning opportunities because you got Uranus hitting your hitting your third house. So this is actually pretty cool. Two air houses, right? It's hitting your seventh house of partnerships and your third house of communication. So, the big thing is there's some completion in terms of your partnerships. You might find yourself completing a cycle in terms of your partnerships. You might be ready to take things to the next level. You might be ready to make things real with a partner. You might be ready to call it quits, right? But there's some kind of completion, some kind of adjustment to your partnerships and with your communications, right? Because there's going to be like a wake-up call in terms of your communication. So maybe this is a matter of changing your day-to-day interactions with your spouse or your partner. Maybe it's a matter of communicating what's been on your mind. Pisces, because Pisces are so psychic and intuitive and subtle, they're not going to always be direct because they, all psychology is based upon projection. So if they intuit something, they're just going to expect that you do too, usually, when you might not, right? So I think for you, Pisces, it's a matter of not taking for granted that somebody knows how you feel. It's about really communicating, really, really, really communicating as much as you can. So the big thing for you too is you're going to have this awakening in terms of your third house. So it might be about communication. You're realizing, oh shoot, I talk to myself in this way. I need to stop talking to myself like that, right? Or I obsess about this. I'm worried about this all the time. You don't want to worry. Maybe this is the time in which you're like, you know what? I'm not going to worry anymore. It's all good. Also, with Uranus in your third, you might be like, oh, I really want to learn this. I want to learn everything I can about this particular subject, which could be really, really cool. So let's see, Pisces, what you get for your full moon in Virgo, some wisdom from the tarot. Remember, you got your full moon hitting your seventh house, so you're completing a cycle in partnerships. Uranus is hitting your third, giving you a wake-up call to your mind. You might change your self-talk, study something new, or think in a brand new way. Let's see, Pisces, what you got. Wisdom for Pisces, wisdom for Pisces. Let's see. Again, you get 3 of discs. So essentially, I think in terms of your relationships, 3 of discs or 3 of pentacles, 3 of diamonds, it's about a framework. What is your framework? What is the framework in this relationship? How often do you see each other? What do you do? Are you balancing things with each other? Always doing everything that he wants? Are you always doing everything that you want? What does the framework of the relationship look like? And also, in terms of your intellectual endeavors, what are you doing to train your mind to think in the right way? Or what are you doing to really advance and learn a subject? Do you have a framework in place, right? So the big thing for you, not only is it creating a framework, but before you're doing that, it's about giving things the works, really doing what you can to work hard and nurture those partnerships that matter to you, both personal as well as professional. And then also, if you're learning something new, it's about giving it the works, throwing yourself into it and just really working hard. But again, it's about creating a framework, seeing results that are done. And I think with 3 of pentacles, 3 of discs, one thing to remember is that progress, not perfection, right? I think all of us under the Virgo full moon, we might be more perfectionistic, and it's not that easy, right? Perfection is a constantly moving target. So if you can aim for progress or even excellence, you should be in the clear this Virgo full moon. So yeah, well, thank you everybody for joining me today live. And if you're watching the replay, thanks so much for that. I do appreciate it. And if you're interested in some vanilla warfare and you need some help achieving your goals or finding out what the hell is going on, well, check out my website, psychicsun.com, and we will hook you up with a reading. The link to that is in the description below. So have a wonderful rest of your week, everyone. Remember, we're still in the Pisces new moon cycle, so you might want to check out your Tarotscopes for that. It's in my videos, and just keep this in mind. What we went over today, keep it in mind for March 7th to March 21st. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.